Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Mira, and I will be playing Hajime this evening. Uh, would my lovely compatriot please introduce themselves?
Hi, I'm Winona, and I'll be playing Sakura Blossom this evening.
It's exciting.
I agree. Say, it is very exciting.
mm-hmm. Okay, Sakura, you are. You wake up in Hajime's house. Well, I don't know. Have you been awake for a bit, or have you just woken up? Like, we
I'm
never yeah.
probably just woken up because I'm guessing this probably takes right after the 12 FPS night lights. So she's
Mm-hmm.
been calming Smudge all night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So she's
so,
probably just waking up.
yeah, you guys probably snuggled, had a good cuddle time and stuff, but you're a bit sleepy and stuff.
hmm
So, yeah, you wake up. Smudge is still in dreamland. They managed to finally drop off asleep without any nightmares
hmm
again.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, and well, you wake up to the sound of breakfast in the kitchen being made.
Nice.
The kind of clatter of dishes being put on the table and just stuff frying in a pan.
Hey, Sakura is gonna make her way, try to listen to figure out where the kitchen is.
Mm-hmm. Just for giggles, I want to see if you actually get lost or not. Roll me survival.
All right.
Yeah,
Wow. So this is how we're gonna start out the day.
it with that too. Uh, Actually, no, that's a nat one.
Yeah, it's a nat one.
With the nat one, it Sakura, Sakura, honey, you've never been in a house like Hajime's before. You managed to get down the stairs. Like, I'll give you that much. You managed to get down the stairs. Uh, but you've never actually visited the kitchen before. Like, you is that where food is made? You don't know, my dude.
Yeah, she's just now wandering. She's just wandering around the house, trying to listen to the sound, but it's just taking her the wrong way because I'm guessing it's just everything is echoing. So she's like, "Wait, it's
Mm-hmm.
this way. No, wait, it's this way."
Yeah. While you're wandering around, do me a favor and roll me perception.
Right. Perception.
Okay, yeah. Do it with advantage because, well, actually, question: Are you wearing the jade tear necklace?
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
she's keeping that on her at all times.
Okay, so then I am giving you advantage on this. Roll again.
Okay, thank thank gosh.
Okay,
Say that.
with that 14, it's a normal looking house. You haven't really been in a house kind of like this. There are paper walls, kind of like how you're kind of used to and stuff, but it's kind of sparse. It's mainly just located in one area. Um,
hmm
just really quickly looking up a thing. To Okay, yeah. And you're kind of just wandering around. The walls kind of have this really nice cherry wood trim and everything, but you don't really see anything really. You're just kind of lost. You eventually kind of stop listening with your ears and start smelling with your nose. however, because
Mhm.
you start to smell the wonderful smell of bacon sizzling in a
Oh, yes.
pan. So that you start following with your nose to where the kitchen is, and you poke your head around the door, and you see Hajime, who is kind of working in the kitchen, kind of just humming to himself as he does so. Um,
Sakura is gonna. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, were you about to say something?
No, no, you go ahead.
Okay. Say Sakura is gonna walk in and say, morning, Hajime.
Oh, hello. Hi there, Winona. It's
Sakura.
Winona Toonkind. Yes, sorry. Sorry.
Oh
Hello
my.
there, Sakura. Because like I was looking at your username and your username lit up a little bit, so my brain went, yes, Winona, instead of Sakura.
It's okay. I'll change it to Sakura
Just
just in case.
sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Just
So
say,
yeah, he just kind of turns his head a little bit and is like, "Hi, Sakura."
morning. What you making?
Oh, I just barely finished making some pancakes, but decided that some bacon needed to be put in alongside because you really need your protein when you're eating. I've found. Why don't you go get a seat? I've already really there's already a stack of pancakes on there if you want.
Okay. As she goes over and like sits at the table and starts moves the starts taking some pancakes onto our plate. It's
Mm-hmm.
very nice of you to make breakfast.
Yeah. Well, you guys are my guests, so I mean, it'd be rude for me not to, you know, make food. And as he's talking, he turns around because the bacon has kind of finished cooking, and he puts the plate of bacon down on the table, and he kind of just like as he's like turning around and stuff, his eyes glance over at something and then kind of away for a moment.
Sakura is gonna look over where Hajime was looking for glancing at.
Mm-hmm. And do me one more favor. Roll me perception one more time.
All right. All right. Wrong button. Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. You this time you do see it. Just the traces of uh, just like the little edge of a corner of some of kind of pale white kimono that darts around the corner with a quiet little giggle. But as you kind of turn your head back to face Hajime, he doesn't look really that bothered. He just is already kind of moving to finish putting the bacon on the table.
Uh, who was that?
I don't know. They just showed up a few days ago. So I'm sure it's fine. It's uh, looks like a kid.
Yes, but they're not your sibling?
No.
Sakura sort of turns to look over at the archway again.
Yeah, the face darts kind of peeks back around at you, Sakura, and
Mm-hmm.
with that dirty 20, you notice that the kid is see-through.
Uh, Sakura like blinks. Is that a ghost?
Looks like it. It's probably some yokai. They haven't done anything yet, so I'm just kind of letting them do their thing. It's fine.
This happens a lot? And Sakura looks back at Hajime.
Yep. And he just kind of grabs a glass and kind of fills it up with some orange juice and hands it to you.
It's a Sakura mage hands the orange juice and
Mm-hmm.
takes a sip. I see. A little bit concerning, especially after yesterday.
Not all of them are bad. The
I
yokai,
can.
I mean.
Uh, I'll take your word for it, but it's still a little bit worrying, especially with that book that you have.
Well, if they want their name back, they can just ask for it. They don't look like they're angry. And as if you take another look at them, they don't. Hajime is telling the truth. With that 20, you do kind of just notice that this kid spirit just kind of wants to play.
Hmm. I see. Well, it's still a little bit concerning with that darker figure that I saw yesterday in wandering the village.
Oh, you saw them too?
Yeah, before we went to bed last night when we entered your home.
Oh, not by um the Rangers Guild.
It was by the Rangers Guild. It's just we saw a quick glance of them before we went inside. Still, say that figure concerns me, but uh,
It's
she just takes a bite of the pancakes.
mm-hmm. He sits down and serves himself up some pancakes and just kind of nibbles at it and is just like, I'm sure they're fine. They haven't approached me or anything, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fine.
Sakura raises an eyebrow.
Okay, look, they're scary. Yes, but a lot of yokai can look scary, but a lot of them are nice if you ignore the fact that they snarl at you a little bit. Yeah.
You even. I'm still a little bit worried. Do you know magic or any way to defend yourself?
He looks a little offended at that. And he's, yes, I know how to defend myself.
Mm. Say again. Sakura is like, after yesterday.
Look, I wasn't expecting him to just pull out whatever the heck he did.
Still, uh, I'm still thinking of maybe sticking around for a little bit,
Uh,
just in case. And of course, if you don't mind, I'll definitely help out around the house, or at least I'll try to.
well, you don't have to, but it I well, he just kind of flounders for a bit.
Say, you don't need to be shy. You can say what you want to say.
I um feel free to roll insight.
All right, I will. Okay.
With a 6, you don't really pick up anything. Just Hajime is just kind of struggling with his words a little bit, but he just kind of takes a bite of pancake and chews for a moment, visibly thinking for a moment, and then he's just like, well, I'm not gonna say no if you want to stay. Um, just he just kind of flounders again.
It's Sakura sighed. Just spit it out. You could be honest with me.
I just don't really see why you want to stay.
She sighs again. I know you say everything is gonna be alright, but I'm guessing it's just. She sort of plays her pancakes a little bit. Just a little. You give. Say, no. Yeah, words are hard. She plays around with her food a little bit. It's just. I don't want you to get hurt. And you can roll insight on that.
Alright, let's see what his insight is. It's a +5. Okay, a 19.
Alright. You could sort of tell by the way she's acting, like, she's come up with a similar situation to this, where even though everything looks fine, she's just worried that below the surface, that everything is actually not fine and he could be a real danger.
Mm-hmm. He kind of sighs and puts his fork down on the plate and he's like, Sakura, I know you're concerned about me, but even if some things go bad, it's my responsibility to give the names that my grandma stole from people. So it's going to be fine either way.
If you think you're up for it. But you don't have to do everything alone.
I mean, I'm not always alone. I've got Kyo-sensei.
Kyo-sensei?
Mm-hmm. Where is he? I'm just gonna roll D20. And, got roll perception again for Hajime. That's your perception. That's a +3. Okay, and he looks around the kitchen for a moment, and then whirls around to like where some of the extra bacon had been sat on the counter, and there is a very, very chubby cat on on the counter trying to steal some of the bacon, and he's like, Kill Sensei! No! And he just kind of scrambles and grabs the cat away from the bacon.
And she laughs at this cat man.
The cat kind of looks at you, Sakura, before kind of letting out a disgruntled Kyo-sensei! That bacon's not for you! The cat kind of just gives him a look as if like, why is it on the counter then instead of on the table?
Yes, as cats do.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yes.
And Hajime just kind of tucks the cat underneath one arm and heads back to the kitchen table, looking a little sheepish.
It's alright. I've had cats back at home.
The cat in Hajime's arms kind of flicks his ears dismissively at you, and then just kind of starts eyeing Hajime's food on the little on his plate. hungrily. Here. And Hajime just kind of hands him one of his slices of bacon.
Cute.
Kyo sensei is now appeased.
Yes, cat is now appeased. But at least I could do for you is at least help out. Maybe you could tell she's now a bit sheepish now. Help cleaning everything up after breakfast.
I wouldn't say no to you helping, I guess. And he just kind of reaches up and scratches behind Kyo sensei's ears. He begins to purr and just kind of kneads Hajime's lap for a moment.
But this is great food, to say, and she like in between bites.
Mm-hmm. Well, glad you're enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's enough food for the others.
Once they wake up.
Mm-hmm. There's Tin and Idol. I don't know if you guys have actually met yet. We met a little bit before you guys ran into Hitoshi-san, and like he just kind of thinks for a moment. Yeah, I think his name was Hitoshi. That's what the book said.
Oh yes, Hitoshi, and she smiles, thinking of the. Yeah, she thought. I say I had to remind myself too. It was just like, yes, Hitoshi was the yokai's name.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he just kind of thinks back to that, and it's just like, yeah, it's been interesting. I'll say, I'm not used to so many people being able to see what I see, but Nashi told me to make these necklaces for a reason, I guess.
Are they the common god around these parts? I never got a chance to ask.
Nashi protects the mountain. That's.
I see.
They're not really well known anymore. And he just kind of rubs the back of his neck. A lot of their shrines are not really used.
Except by you?
Yeah, and the yokai, they often know who Nashi is, considering they're the one that helps keep them safe for the most part.
Sakura nods. I see. So what made you what made you be, I'm guessing you said you could see these things normally?
Mm-hmm. I've been able to see them my entire life, really. It's, my grandma could see them too, so I guess we have that in common.
I see. But she used this power to take names away from them.
Yeah, I don't understand her.
I've heard stories of yokai before. Even though you say there are some that are nice, I've definitely heard my share of ones that are not so nice.
Yeah,
Usually.
I'm not saying all of them are good, but not all of them are bad. They're just people.
Sorry, it's just It's very different from where I come from. Sort of nice, though, for the change. I like seeing the better side of people, or at least I like trying to, though I guess old habits die hard at times, and she's playing with her food again.
Mm-hmm. He looks at you and kind of just like tilts his head. He's like, "Do you want to talk about it?"
She's quiet for a second. Sighs. I'm not very sure if it's wise to right now. I don't want anyone getting hurt because of me.
Why would
Unfortunately, sorry, you go.
why would people get hurt of you because of you?
I may have not been telling the whole truth to my party. Or at least she's looking sort of back at the entrance, sort of to the way that everyone is sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just exploration or seeing nature that I came out here for. It was mainly to get away from my family.
Oh, er, and he just kind of looks seriously at you, Sakura, and he kind of leans forward a little, but like not enough that he's in your space, but just kind of just so even though no one's really around, just
Mm-hmm.
so no one can actually hear what he says, and he's like, Sakura, are you in trouble?
She gives a little sigh. I don't know just yet, but I would assume so by the way I left. Unfortunately, nobles have obligations and duties, and the one thing they wanted from me was something I could not do.
I see. I Sakura, you can stay here if you want. The Nashi has a way of making sure that things can be hidden. And if we ask, I'm pretty sure they'd be willing to help you out.
I would very much appreciate that. Though I implore you not to tell anyone else about this, as this is sort of private, and if I'm gonna tell them, I'd rather do it on my own time.
Hajime kind of looks at you and he says, I would never tell anybody about this, Sakura. It's your it's, it's your business. Just I think you can trust your friends. They seem like they're nice people.
They do seem like it, and I'm hoping I can trust them. But the wound is still fresh from when I left, and I just need time.
Hajime nods and he just kind of gives you a smile that's clearly understanding, and he's like, well, hopefully your stay here in Hitoyama will be able to help ease those wounds.
She smiles back, very kindly, saying, I hope so too. And I'm guessing, like, maybe by this time her plate is finished. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, uh, let me get this. As she as she tries to clean the plate in the most inefficient way possible, as she repeatedly uses prestidigitation.
And, Sakura, Here, let me take that. Prestidigitation is great, but it doesn't get everything. And Hajime kind of reaches out and takes the empty plate and stacks it on his, and then walks over to the counter where the sink is and turns on the tap.
Maybe, but unfortunately, it's the only thing that I know. I was never, as you could probably assume from what you just saw, I was never taught how to cook or clean.
Well,
We've had servants to do all that for me.
yeah, well, there's no better time than learning now. Come over here.
Oh, okay. And she goes over to Hajime.
And he sets his plate down on the counter, waiting to be washed, and then he sticks the plate that Sakura was trying to clean underneath the running water, and then he kind of gets it all wet, and then with the soap starts to scrub at the grease that is probably what wasn't really able to be prestidigitated away.
Yeah.
And he just kind of washes it all and kind of rinses it all off, and then grabs one of the dish towels and starts drying the plate. It's like, see, it's not that hard. All you really need is some, especially since he kind of looks at you for a moment, Sakura, and then goes, with your mage hand, you should be able to do this, but yeah. Best
All
bet
right.
is running water, some soap, and just scrubbing for a bit. And he
Okay.
kind
Say,
of,
can I try?
mm-hmm,
Sorry.
yeah, and he kind of moves aside for you to get a plate, and like just for fun and funsies, just roll me a quick dex check, real quick.
Yeah, that's what I probably. That sounds about right. E. Wait, what was that? Yeah, 3. Okay.
Okay, with an 8, you don't break the dish, but this is some stubborn grease. Wow, it's really just kind of sliding all over the place. You start wondering why it's not really getting clean, and then you realize that you forgot the soap. So now you have an extra slippery plate in your mage hand, with you needing to put some soap on the dish.
Sakura just sighs like as she just gets the soap and tries to clean it again.
Mm-hmm. And like I'm not gonna have you roll the second time, but I'm going to say that like it does manage to get clean at this point.
Ah, there we go.
Good job. And
Thank you.
Hajime kind of is grinning at you, well, I say grinning, but it's just honestly a very soft smile. But for Hajime, who is rather naturally blank-faced, it is a grin.
Thank you. I see. Anything else that you could possibly teach me? I mean, is there any other work that needs to be done around the house?
Well, and this is where the Mira brain goes blank because they forgot to figure out some other chores that they can do.
I mean, sweeping the floor is always a good chore.
True. Yeah. Let's say Hajime shows Sakura how to sweep.
Yes.
And while you're doing that, why don't you roll me perception real quick?
All right.
Okay, yeah, you see the little kid dragging away your dustbin with a giggle.
I think I need that. Don't I? Do I need that?
Oh, come back! No, we need that. And Hajime actually starts giving chase, and the little ghost lets out a shrieking giggle and takes off running through the hall. Just no, come back, we need that.
Yes, we need this. Sakura is chasing after them too.
It kind of leads you down the hall and kind of past the living room and into kind of a more ornate shrine room that seems to just barely have been started to be like tidied up and used and stuff. There's like the lingering hint of dust in the air, but it looks like it just kind of barely has started to become cleared out. And the kid's gone, but the dustpan is kind of just sitting there in the middle of the room. And like Hajime is just kind of standing there, kind of with his hands on his knees, breathing heavily because oh geez, he wasn't expecting to run this early in the morning.
Yeah, Sakura's just like, well, at least it wasn't a long chase. As she uses Mage Hand to pick up the dustbin.
Yeah, you're able to easily do that, and he just kind of is like, yeah, let's go back sweeping. There's probably there's a few non-sentient dust bunnies, I'm pretty sure, that have gathered underneath the couch. Probably should get that.
Yeah, and then maybe move on to this room a little bit afterwards.
Yeah, I could need some help tidying up in here.
Well, I could help you with that. And she smiled.
And he kind of just smiles back at her. And you guys like head back to where you'd stopped sweeping. Kind of finish sweeping up the kind of accumulated dirt from tracking in from coming in from the like you're kind of sweeping in the entry hall kind of area, like right before you take off your shoes.
Yeah.
And stuff, so like sweeping up all the dirt in there, just kind of all the dirt and leaves and everything that kind of had gotten trailed in from the hike yesterday, and kind of dump all of that and stuff. It's all clean, and then you guys head into the shrine room, and you notice that there's like a tiny little kind of almost handmade looking altar in a corner that is clearly actually dedicated to Nashi, and it's very obvious by how how Hajime is shuffling slightly in place that he'd made that shrine himself.
Sakura smiles at him. Well, you've done a much better job than I ever could.
Thanks. It took me a bit to actually manage to keep it from falling apart. Woodworking is not my specialty.
I mean, I don't know any woodworking at all. So, you've definitely impressed me.
Well, from a lot of the cherry blossoms that have cropped up around it, I think Nashi appreciates it too. And as you kind of look there are a few scattered dried cherry blossoms around the little shrine. And you guys kind of set about opening up the shrine room, like kind of opening up windows and like airing out things and like just kind of shaking out the Tommy mats and everything.
I'm gonna make a con roll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a con roll to see how much that Sakura sneezes. Cause it's dusty.
Yep, it's dusty. I'm gonna.
Yeah, she's sneezing all over the place.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll up. Yep. Hajime also starts sneezing a lot, and he's like, hold on. He fishes out from his hammer space 2 handkerchiefs and ties one around his nose, and then hands one to your mage hand, Sakura.
Okay, and she copies him and puts it around her like mouth muzzle.
Her snout.
Her snout. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, and just, you guys continue cleaning, but now with the added protection of some handkerchiefs, so you're not choking on dust.
Every time.
Yep. But yeah, like I'm just gonna do a just straight 2020 roll to see how long it takes. And no, like with your help, Sakura, like even though you have no idea really how to do things and stuff, like you
Mhm.
watch Hajime kind of air out everything and kind of like shake out the tatame mats and such, and like you're able to copy Hajime as he kind of does this kind of almost by routine at this point. Like it's clear that even though like it has gotten rather dusty in here, he has done similar stuff to this in the past, so he knows what he's doing.
Mhm. Yeah, Sakura is soaking out in all this knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
of
Sakura knows how to do dishes, how to sweep, how to do how to air out
dusting.
like dusting, how to air out a room that's full of
Mhm.
dust.
Yes. She's learning how to be a normal person.
Yep. And you don't need to roll perception again to notice this. The little kid is back, but they're kind of up high on the it's kind of the like it's kind of like the shelving keeps that houses the altars, like
Mhm.
like that are more dedicated towards like the family members who have passed.
Uh-huh.
And they're just kind of chilling at the top of that little area, just watching, kind of idly swinging their feet as they watch you guys clean.
Be careful up there. And even though this is a ghost, she's like still is like this is still a child. It's like be careful as you sit up high. You
Uh,
don't want to fall.
the kid just kind of giggles underneath their kimono sleeve, and then just kind of, boop, they're they're gone.
Sakura gives a nod of approval. She doesn't want even though
Sorry, you cut out. What'd you say?
it's gonna say no, Sakura gives a nod of approval.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Hajime just kind of blinks and just kind of rubs his own jade's tear kind of absent-mindedly as he's just like, it's so weird having other people see what I can see. Just underneath his breath.
Sakura just smiles at that, but makes no comment as she helps finish cleaning out everything else and making sure the shrine looks nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm honestly running out of ideas for what
Yeah,
they can do.
yeah. I bet she say, let's say she goes over to the shrine and she sort of just looks at it. It's like, "Are you? You said Nashi could help me. I don't know what I could do, but again, I hope maybe this would sway them to saying possibly yes."
uh, Hajime kind of blinks at Sakura and like kind of just tilts his head quizzically.
Well, he said earlier that maybe Nashi could
Yeah, I
help her.
know.
Yeah.
But like he's like kind of like what like doing what? He's a little confused.
Oh, I mean, hopefully cleaning out the shrine would hopefully win Nashi's favor. That's stupid. I say just a thought. Just
Well, I mean, just the fact that you're concerned and wanting to help me, I think, is something that Nashi uh, likes. And he just kind of rubs the back of his head. And, like, I mean, I like you, so that has to sway them somehow, right? And they
She's
just
she's doing like sort of the same thing with her mage hand. It's like, oh, I like you too, and I hope so.
a warm kind of just faint breeze drifts in from outside, and like there are a few Sakura petals, but like you don't get the feeling that Nashi has decided either way quite yet.
hmm Which
Uh,
is fair.
you just get the impression that Nashi is watching, like they've heard what you and Hajime were talking about, but they're reserving judgment.
Mm.
But like it's not the bad kind of reserving judgment, it's just kind of like that patiently waiting to see what you're gonna do next
hmm
with whatever happens in the future.
hmm Fair enough. And Sakura sighs. Well, thank you again for teaching me all this.
I mean, you, if you're gonna be without servants for a while, it's good to know how to do these things. And he just kind of smiles at you softly, Sakura. He's like, and it's nice to do chores with a friend.
Sakura nods. Yeah, it is nice to do chores with a friend. We should probably make sure he doesn't eat the rest of the bacon.
Oh,
Forget the cat.
oh no, Kyo Sensei! And Hajime just kind of, his eyes widen and he kind of just drops what he was holding and books it back to the kitchen.
Sakura smiles as picks up what Hajime dropped and walks back to the kitchen.
And like it was just like a rag that he was holding. My brain had blanked on what he was holding, so like you kind of just, as you walk back into the kitchen, you spot Hajime just kind of wrestling with the cat, and the cat very, very loudly complaining because he wants the bacon. He wants the bacon.
Yes.
But like all you really hear are very angry cat yowling noises. Though the cat doesn't actually, like, the cat's looking at you, Sakura, but it's still kind of just yowling its head off.
Say, let me help you, and Sakura's gonna help get the bacon out, like save the bacon.
Yeah, just put it in the fridge. We can heat it up later. Kyo Sensei.
All right. She takes the bacon and put it in the refrigerator.
Mhm.
Maybe later you can teach me how to cook a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Just I eat. Kyo Sensei, I swear I am not getting you any more steamed pork buns. And I feel like the camera just kind of
Yeah.
like pans out and into the sky at that point, as like
Yeah.
the commotion, I'm pretty sure, would wake up the rest of the household.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it would. Yeah. But yay.
But yeah, and that was learning the ropes. And
Yep.
we got some fun bonding between Sakura and Hajime. It was great.
Yes. I agree. So cute.
I hold Sakura very soft.
I hold Hajime very soft.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you enjoyed. Bye!
Yeah. Bye.